Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck. So today we're going to change the rules a little bit in the pasta world. Because I love Reuben sandwiches by far and large. If I see one on a menu, chances are it's gonna knock everything else off the list because my eyes just focus on Reuben. I love it. I mean, pastrami coupled with some Swiss cheese and sauerkraut and Russian dressing on like a toasty, buttery rye bread with the caraway seeds. Perfection. I mean, Moses would be so happy with this sandwich. If he wasn't kosher, I guess. And there's so many like trends with Reubens, like this Reuben egg rolls. I've even seen a Reuben soup. Maybe I'll try that sometime down the line, maybe not, but I said to myself, hey Jeff, you love making pastas and coming up with inventive ways between, you know, French onion pasta and sausage and shells and chicken marsala pasta. How about you create a Reuben pasta? And let's just, you know, for fun, call it Reuben Rotini, because I like alliteration. Guys, I've done something that's going to change the game. If you love Reubens and if you love pasta, welcome to the world of Reuben Rotini. So laughably easily and quickly done right in your Instant Pot. Let's Reuben along. Alright, so because we're making a Reuben pasta, we want to start off with some pastrami or corned beef. I like pastrami better. It's basically the same thing as a corned beef, just has a little bit more of a smoky flavor and a little bit more of a spicy edge. I'm using a pound of this. When you go to the deli, have them slice it into relatively thin pieces. This is actually on the thicker side, but that's fine too. But if you want it a little bit thinner, that's fine. So what we want to do is we want to just chop this up into like dice-sized pieces. So we're looking just like this, little bite-sized pieces. Alright, let's set that aside for now. Okay, now I'm going to go to my Instant Pot and I'm going to add my pasta. And my pasta of choice for this is going to be Rotini, which is like the little coils. You see like that? Look like little pigtails maybe a little bit. Or like, you know when the cables go into a power line, the little like electrical socket thing up there? It looks like that too. And honestly, why Rotini? Because it's going to scoop up everything really nicely and because I love alliteration, Reuben Rotini. Add an entire 1 pound box. Now we want to add in our broth. I'm adding in 3 cups of beef broth mixed with 2 cups of garlic or chicken broth. So 5 cups of broth total. Put that in there. And what I'm using for that is 3 teaspoons of beef Better Than Bouillon mixed with 3 cups of water, along with 2 teaspoons of garlic Better Than Bouillon mixed with 2 cups of water. Again, you can use 2 cups of chicken broth as well, or 2 teaspoons of chicken Better Than Bouillon and 2 cups of water. Whatever you want to use 5 cups of broth. But I do suggest using at least half of it as beef broth because, you know, it's a Reuben, it's beefy. And now let's make sure that all the Rotini is basically submerged underneath our broth. It's okay if some pieces peek out a little bit, but we ultimately want it all covered by the broth. Alright? Just like that, it's totally fine. And this is optional, but because we're making a Reuben pasta, I also want to add in 1 teaspoon of caraway seeds. Yes, just sprinkle it throughout the top, that's totally fine. It's optional, you don't have to add them, but I mean, caraway seeds goes with rye bread, which goes with a Reuben, you know? And now let's secure our lid and make sure that we are in sealing position. Now let's come down to our control panel and hit the pressure cook or the manual button, depending on your model. And we want to just go on this, guys, for 5 minutes at high pressure. That's it. Alright, so while the pasta's pressure cooking, now let's focus on our sauerkrauts, because guys, it's not a Reuben without some sauerkraut, you know what I'm saying? What we want to do is we want to take about 1 pound worth of the stuff, and we want to drain it. So let's go to the sink and make sure we get all of this, you know, liquid in there out, and then squeeze it dry. Okay, so in a clean sink, just put a colander over the drain, and empty the bag of sauerkraut into it. And now get some paper towels and press all of the sauerkraut down until it becomes kind of dried out. I'm talking almost as dry as B. Arthur's humor, you know? And look at that, nice and absorbed. I love using Costco paper towels, by the way. These things are the best. And when we're looking like this, guys, you see that? We're good to go. I mean, this is totally fine. It's definitely going to feel wet a little bit, and that's normal. But we just don't want it to be super soppingly wet, you know? This is perfect. Alright, set that aside for now. It's time to do a quick release. And the pin just dropped, so let's take the lid off. And there's our Rotini, perfectly cooked. Let's just take a spoon and mix this around a little bit. There'll still be a little bit of liquid in there, but that's perfect. We want that to be in there because we're now going to create the most amazing sauce ever. You guys know me well by now. We're going to add some boursin to this, guys. 5.2 ounce little pack of this stuff. You can get this in your fancy cheese or charcuterie section of your supermarket in the deli, or you can get them in Costco. A lot of Costco sell them in packs of 3 for a great value. If you can't find the boursin, just use some cream cheese. Use about 5 ounces of a brick of cream cheese. And I've cut the boursin up into 6 little cubes here because it's going to be easier to disperse that way when we add it to the pasta and mix it and meld it into everything. Start blending it. Just be kind of gentle with it. It's gonna meld very quickly and very easily. Should probably take about a minute or so. And you'll see it's completely married and melded into that excess broth right now. It's perfect that way for a base. Guys, okay, this might seem a little weird to put in a pasta, but guys, it's not gonna be a Reuben unless we have some Russian dressing. You better believe it, guys. Russian dressing. I like Ken's Steakhouse the most. I just think they have the best bottled Russian dressing you can get. I'm using a half of a cup. And then stir that in with everything else that's in the pot. All right, we are looking great. Now let's add in our pastrami and our sauerkraut. And give that a good toss with all of the pasta. Want everything to get nice and combined in here. All right, this is looking perfect. And one last step, and that's going to be to add in some shredded Swiss cheese, or mozzarella cheese if you can't find Swiss, or you can use Gruyere. Use 2 cups of it. And then give that all a final mix until all of the cheese becomes nice and melded into our sauce. And we're going to have the most amazing Reuben Rotini you've ever had. Probably the first time you've ever had Reuben Rotini. This should take between 1 to 2 minutes of stirring to make sure that all of the cheese gets nice and melted into the sauce. Oh, and you can see we're getting nice and melty and cheesy. Really make sure you get under all that pasta to make sure everything gets a little bit of a turn in here and everything comes together nice and good in terms of the heat. And oh my gosh, guys, look at this pasta. Full of cheese, full of pastrami, full of unbelievable goodness. Guys, we are ready to serve. Here we go. Let's get some out of the pot and oh, look at that cheese! And into the bowl. Oh man, oh man, oh man. And look at this, guys. Look at this. Gorgeous. And hello, Reuben Rotini. Okay, guys, we are now ready to serve. Let's try it out. Let's get a fork in there and bring this right on up to our mouths. And if you wish to garnish it off with some more caraway seeds, by all means, feel free to. It'll provide a little bit of a crunch. And the caraway seeds, by the way, are seeds that are inside of rye bread. And there it is, folks. Reuben Rotini. Let's dig in. And, I mean, look at this. Here we go. I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, this pasta is so good that if Reuben Stuttered ate it, he would stutter. It's like a Jewish deli in a pasta. It's everything you could ever have wanted in a Reuben and in pasta at the same time. Oh my gosh. The flavors come together on a magical level. Magical. If you do add the caraway seeds at the very end to garnish, it's going to provide a little bit of a crunch, just letting you know, which is fine. Some people might not like that, but I would definitely add them if you want to before you cook, for sure. They soften up that way. I mean, look at this pasta. Look at it. It's just strands of unbelievable cheese and pastrami and sauerkraut in there. And who knew? And who knew that Russian dressing would be an incredible ingredient to add to a pasta sauce? Oh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's a real winner. It's basically like making Reuben mac and cheese. I gotta put this down before I eat the entire bowl. Every ratio that is in that dish is spot on perfect. So, Reuben lovers out there, do yourselves a favor and make this Reuben pasta. Also, feel free to serve it with a side of toasted buttered rye. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please visit PressureLuckCooking.com for tons more recipes. There's so many that run the gamut, from healthy to comfort, from vegan to carnivore. Every single one of them has written instructions at the bottom of the recipe. Go to Facebook.com/PressureLuckCooking and like that page for any time a new recipe drops, anytime there's a sale on an item, tips, things you don't want to miss. And of course, at Pressure Luck to subscribe to me on YouTube. All my videos are easily found there. Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. I don't know if I have a seed in my teeth. I can't even tell. Whatever. Alright, I can't help myself. I mean, when it's right in front of me with this, all this cheese and this pastrami and pasta at the same time, I can't resist.